What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Backstop. Banter. A hair late. A hair late. Listen, it's always Michael's fault that we're late. It's never been mine. Not one time. Not even one.
Well, let's not completely go 100% on that, but you know what? I will say 95%.
I don't know. I'm pretty
And the reason is, guys, because my retail job, we actually close the store at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and then we close, and then we have to do everything, clean up the store, and have everything set, count the drawers. By 9:45, maybe I'm out. Then I rush home. As you can tell, I'm still in my polo. I'm not going to lie. I did take off my khakis and put on a pair of ball shorts, but you just see this up, so I went with it.
The khakis?
I'm sorry, the khakis.
No, listen, it just reminds me of that Allstate commercial.
Khakis.
What are you wearing? Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
She did. Actually, she was pretty good.
What is great is that we get to talk baseball. We've been off for an extra week.
That is true.
Yeah, I've
How
missed
was your little vacation?
Face. It was good. Went a little deep sea fishing. Let the kids play on the beach quite a bit. So, I had a good time. A lot of family was there. So what we do, just a little information here. We go to the Outer Banks. We actually was at Emerald Isle, North Carolina. I'm sure you know the state. And we rented a tent. Okay. We rented a townhouse right on the beachfront. My mother and father went. My whole family went. My sister and her whole family went. We all split the rooms, or the house, basically. Makes it a lot cheaper, and we're all right there real close together. 3-story house. It had like 6 bedrooms in it, so we all could do our own thing, basically. It's a lot of nice. And actually, my other brother, one of my brothers, they were there too, but they actually went with their own condo. So we're all still close and could hang out at the beach. It's a lot of fun. Celebrated my nephew's birthday while we were there.
Okay. Michael, I'll be in that neck of the woods the last 2 weeks of June.
Oh, yeah?
I'm heading out to the parents' condo. I'm getting a much-needed vacation.
Nice. Where are you going?
It's like 45 minutes from Myrtle.
North or south?
I literally have no idea. I haven't even been there yet.
I mean, south, it means South Carolina, because that's where Myrtle Beach is. The Outer Banks are in North Carolina.
I can't remember. I really can't.
Wow. Do you even know where the name of the place?
Nope.
Just 45 minutes.
Yep.
One way. It may not even be on the beach.
It's on a golf course.
Okay. Is it in Wilmington?
Listen, Michael, you can name every.
And it wouldn't.
No, I literally couldn't tell you.
If it's in Edisto, I know where you're talking about, actually.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll figure that out for you. But you know what I'm going to figure out right now? The Bills. Because you know what? We got to pay them.
Bills.
The Bills. The Raiders. So, if you want to bet on something, make sure you go over to mybookie.ag and use code US700 to double your first deposit. I just bit my tongue. That hurt. But double your first deposit up to $1,000. We got, listen, NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, obviously baseball, which we're going to talk about. Listen, you can bet on anything you want. I'm pretty sure there's some fights this weekend, horse racing if you want to. Listen, find something.
Is it the boxing match? Is that this weekend?
The Floyd and Logan Paul?
Yes.
I don't know. I know they had their little stare down today, so it might be this weekend. But I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you. I'm just hoping that Logan doesn't walk away. Anyway.
He won't.
MyBookie.ag, US700 doubles your first deposit. Next up, we have RxHemp. RxHemp-USN will save you 10% off your entire order. They got the pain relief CBD cream. So if you're a little sore from life, as I always like to say, go and check them out. You'll feel brand new waking up in the morning. And then next, we have the Teespring shop, teespring.com/stores/unwrapped. Go and check that one out as well. We funnel all of our merch through there. So if you want to support the network or if you want to support an individual show on the live lineup like this one, you can go over there, check out everybody's merch, and go get you some. And then finally is the Patreon, patreon.com/unwrappedsports. $1, you're letting us know you like what we do. $5, you get access to our Discord chat. We're putting out some, bets over there. Easy money. We're hot right now. Hot. So go and check it out. You also get entered into an Amazon gift card giveaway, and you get 10% off the store I just told you about. And then the $10 tier of that is the exact same thing, except the 10% discount goes to $20, and you get entered into our signed memorabilia giveaway each month. Last month, we actually gave away 2 things because we decided that we were slacking off a little bit. So go and check them out. I'm just saying. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
The Michael
the boys
Fan
got
Club.
me. How we doing, Robbie and Carter? Appreciate it. Thank you.
Stop lying to him.
Hey. What it is, it's good. It's my homeboys. Even though they're like 15 years younger than me, but they're great guys.
You know what? Honestly, I've never resonated with something more in my life because there's this guy I work with. His name's Gene. Love Gene. Big fan. Big
with
fan
a
of
G.
Gene. Yeah, with a G. Big fan of Gene. He's given me some Patriots memorabilia. He gave me a Yankee pullover. He's 69 years old. I'm 21.
Nice.
Whoa.
This is not the same relationship.
No. I know, but it's the same idea. I'm saying, it's retail when your best friend is either is that much older than you or younger than you in your case.
Right. These guys I actually don't work with though, so they're just. I do think the Suns do beat the Lakers. I don't know about tonight.
I literally
hope so.
Am praying because I will be up 350.
Oh wow! I will not say a word in our basketball chat. I will not.
I will.
Like everyone knows, I hate LeBron, but I always hate to be those people that brag about stuff. Like, okay,
no. If they lose tonight, I'm getting kicked out.
Good. I mean, oh man.
Listen, Michael, you love me. You wouldn't be anywhere without me.
Ouch. Yeah, I mean, I guess not. But okay.
What's good, man? The dynamic baseball duo is back. Listen, know the vibes.
Sir. Matt, I might need a new co-host after Lakers lose today. If you're interested, just throwing that out there.
Because I'm coming at Caleb hard, bro. He's the one that owes me the most if they lose. So I'm just saying. Anyway, let's get into the baseball news because
this is a baseball show
to talk about. Yeah, well, that too. I'm going to start it off with this because I think it's kind of been a hot topic recently. With the foreign substance in baseball that pitchers are using to get more spin on the ball, blah, blah, blah.
What? They do that?
Yeah, I know. It's the craziest thing. Listen, I have a very easy suggestion. You ready for this, Michael?
Okay.
How about this? Instead of cracking down on a foreign substance, why don't you just make one that all the pitchers can use?
Ooh, nice.
Wouldn't it make sense that you have one universal one instead of this guy uses pine tar and this guy uses sunscreen and rosin and this guy uses whatever the hell he wants? Like, why don't you just make one thing and everybody has to
universal?
Use it? And then if you don't use it, then you can get in trouble. But like the foreign substance thing is annoying to me. What's going on, Perry?
What's up, Perry?
Only because it's annoying to me for 2 reasons. With like, I don't know, everybody does it, and I know that. Listen,
easy, Matt. Calm down.
I would do a great job. The Astros
Lord,
wouldn't have gotten away with it. I'm telling you.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like when we first talked about making this conversation here, I was like, they need to crack down, But hearing that, wow, I mean, it's a different spin. It's actually kind of nice. That way, it's universal. It's across the board. I want to hear more on it.
Here's the other thing. Pitchers, it's come out, from former players, current players, things like that. They don't mind pitchers using it because it gives them a better grip on the ball. Mm-hmm. Like former players have come out and said, because apparently right now it's a record high of hit by pitches at the moment, which are obviously not good because, that's how somebody gets hurt. We saw with VR, the Mets took one to the face, looked ugly. Mm. I've seen plenty of broken hands, obviously.
Of course, he was up in like 29 seconds. LeBron. Keep going.
Yeah, just saying, But anyway.
My eye.
Yeah. I can't believe he's even playing right now. Anyway. So they've come out and said, listen, you think that hit by pitches are bad now? Take away substances and see how bad it is. So players don't mind it. It's just you have to find one that everybody can use and that it doesn't affect the spin rate of the ball as well, because that's kind of the main problem that they're looking at. Because it's funny. We've seen 2 extremes, Michael. We've officially seen it. 2 years ago, way too many home runs, too many runs, this, that, and the third, blah, blah. Oh, the ball got juice, this, that. Well, now you can't score a run for anything. It's impossible.
Unless you're playing the Reds. ERA. But anyways.
So now, teams have historically low batting averages. There's not as many runs scored, blah, blah. It's boring, strikeouts, just that. So we've seen the two extremes now. And let me tell you something. I much more enjoyed the extreme of more production. Did it take away a little bit of something from the home run? Is it as exciting as it maybe used to be 10, 15 years ago? Probably not. Probably not. But I will gladly take that over a 3-1 game every single day. The occasional pitcher's duel, go ahead. I'm a fan of it. I really do like it. But 3-1, 5-2 every single night, I'm good.
Yeah, I think as long as they're over 3, and I do feel like it still kind of happen over 3 runs a game. I think it's entertaining still. What I'm actually probably most excited about this discussion, not even just us, but as a whole in the MLB, is that more than likely this all became present because of social media. Like, how many videos have you actually seen of a player grabbing their glove and you know exactly? Like, my favorite one I just seen yesterday on TikTok, shout out TikTok, was Molina, who I can't stand for the Cardinals. He actually was looking for the ball. It was a passed ball, basically, and he got up, took his mask off, was looking everywhere for it, and it was literally stuck to his vest.
Oh, yeah, that happened a few years ago. I remember that.
I've never seen that one before, but it's been brought to my presence because I had not seen that.
Oh, yeah, that happened a few years ago. They made a big thing about it, and I think he tried saying that, like, the stitch got stuck or something.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously that was a substance. And, we've seen so many, I think it was memes from the Brewers. You see him grabbing in his
Orioles,
yeah. You see him when he had his no-hitter, he actually was grabbing in his glove. And it wasn't too blatantly obvious, but with social media, they were able to slow it down and be like, oh, wow, now it's completely obvious what he's doing. So kudos to at least social media being a part of the MLB.
Listen, you saw it with John Boy.
Yeah, and I love John Boy.
You know what? Something I didn't know about him, though? Have you watched any Sunday night or Monday night baseball games recently?
I have not, I'll be honest with you.
Well, they started doing the pitch sequence. So, after the first pitch, it'll pop up like 97 mile per hour fastball, and then the second one's a 86 mile an hour changeup, and it posts the whole thing.
Oh, good.
And that was actually a suggestion that he gave.
Really? I like that. And I've always wanted that.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, now it's interesting to see, now you're seeing the thought process of pitchers and catchers and things like that. It makes it more interesting, and they decided to go with it. So
wow, that's awesome. Because to be honest with you, I actually got more into that last year when I started getting back into baseball and everything, and I would try to check in with the Reds during the playoffs run. I'll say playoffs run to push for the playoffs. And I was watching more on MLB.com or ESPN where it's just showing the pitch come through because I was at work. I tried to run in and just see something. Gamecast, that's what I was trying to think of. And it would show you what the pitch was, fastball or whatnot, change up or some kind of curve. And they're like, okay, well, this is kind of interesting. It would be nice to actually try to keep a head count, if you will, of that. Be like, oh, I bet you this pitcher's going to throw this next. And it gets you more of a strategic style of baseball where you're watching that and more in depth. I think it'll make baseball more fun to watch on TV.
I think it just makes it more interesting as a whole because you're, like I said, I think a lot of people like strategy. Oh, yeah. That's what you're seeing in it. You're
stepping into the mind of a manager and your pitchers. Like, okay, this pitcher is throwing this.
If of the mind of a catcher, of a pitcher, the shake-offs, this, that. So, you're seeing what they're talking about. But I like it. I like that. I like the whole effect of social media, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So probably something the MLB could do a little bit better. And, but the foreign substance thing is interesting. I think it'll happen, though. I think that they really will come up with one that's just universally allowed for pitchers because I think it's just the easiest thing. You make one that's universal, the pitchers work with it, and then you can start suspending them if they use a different one. Because right now it's like you're suspending me, but yet literally every single pitcher is using it. And I know it's they didn't get caught, you did. But I mean, in a way, it's still unfair and kind of stupid to be suspended for that. I remember when Michael Pineda was on the Yankees, and he got suspended for it for a couple games because he had the Banter on his neck. And I was like, I get it. but everybody does it. So it's annoying,
Right.
but you know what I mean.
I mean, if you back up, it's kind of like even with the steroids, like it was an era where steroids was bad, but you knew everyone was doing it more than likely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it'd be great if it might not be in the MLB, but a league popped up that you could do anything. Like you could do your steroids, you could do your pine tars, you could do all that, and just say, let's see what happens there. I mean, do you not think that would be entertaining?
I mean, hey, it probably would be. I mean, I don't know how good it. I don't know if that would ever get off the ground, but hey, I don't know if you've ever seen like the clips of. There's basically like this football league too. I don't think it's too official or anything like that, but no pads, nothing. It's literally
you'll see it on like if you had Facebook, you see highlights on them all the time.
They
Smash each other. Yeah, man.
So hey, listen, if football's gonna do it, hell, let somebody.
Why not?
If you want to take steroids, go ahead.
There
Start
you go.
another league. Why not?
Mark McGuire, take over that. I don't know why I picked you, but I think you'd be a great person for that.
Him, Sammy,
just do it. Barry Bonds, even though you haven't come out yet, but
Roger Clemens could be the star pitcher. Oh, it'd be fantastic.
If those guys would be the coaches of the managers of the team, that would be great.
And you gotta have all of them named after steroids. So like one has to be the roid ragers, the other ones have to be like the needle pushers.
The needle pushers?
Yeah,
I mean, okay.
Something.
You know
I
what?
need it.
We'll call it the Backstop Banter League, and we'll start this.
Now listen, I'm always up for investment opportunities.
Let's go, Perry. Let's make this happen. Let's go.
All right, well, we'll move on from that. And it's one that I think is another thing that I think is very interesting, and that is with Trevor Story. Obviously, the shortstop for the Rockies, they previously traded Nolan Arenado. A lot of people, including me, thought it was because they want to sign Story to a longer deal, and they already did that with Arenado, and they just wouldn't have the type of money thing. And then it came out like, oh, no, we're going to trade him, blah, blah, blah. And now just looking at, MLB.com and things like that, now they're hesitant to trade him. And I can understand why you'd be hesitant to trade him. He's a good young player.
Right.
But, I mean, they're not going anywhere. You need to rebuild. And I know you
I think they're like 13 games out of first.
Yeah, I mean, they're not good. It's simple as that. But you have to rebuild. You probably got some nice players back in the Arenado trade, but I think the Story one would get you even more people because he doesn't have the contract yet. So what are your thoughts on it? You think they ended up trading him? What do you think it takes? Who do you think is a good landing spot for him as well?
Hadn't thought about that part of it. Back before the season start in our panels that we were doing, I actually thought that this was a trade, in no doubt in my mind that they'll still trade him. I thought that he would start the season, but I still think that he's going to be traded. My only hesitation I'm thinking their hesitation might be is because they don't want to trade him before the All-Star break, since the All-Star game is actually in Colorado. I mean, he's your only hope of having a player that actually is even there. So I don't know if that's even something they've thought about. But, yeah, I definitely think he's out the door. Why would you keep a guy who is very high trade value for the rest of the half of the season to lose and get nothing back for him when you can actually trade him and get something? Obviously, you're not winning this year. Let's just be honest. You suck. You are worse than the Pirates. So with that being said, who do I think a good landing spot would be? I will say the Reds, because obviously I love the Reds, but I think we're so far out of it ourselves that that's not even an option for us. But shortstop has been a big hole for us. We try to move Suarez over, which he's still playing shortstop. I don't know what we'd do, but it'd be great to actually have a solidified player at shortstop. I'm going to have to kind of look through the list. I want to hear your options on there first, or your thoughts on it too, while I kind of look through the teams real quick and try to think with you.
Yeah, like you said, I thought coming into the season it was kind of a for sure thing. They're just going to be a bad team. You have to rebuild, and what do bad teams do when they need to rebuild? They trade their good players away to get other ones. Mm-hmm. As far as teams go, obviously the Mets were going to be one of them. They ended up getting Lindor. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of talks that the Yankees might try for Lindor. So would they try for Story as well? The thing with that is it gets really confusing because you have DJ at second, you have Glaber at short, you have Urshela at third, and Voigt's at first. So unless you're going to trade Voigt, move DJ to first,
Which
Glaber
Voigt
second. Glaber
is like
second.
batting 200, like
Well,
less
Voigt
than
played
200.
like 4 games.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, Voigt only played a handful of games and then got hurt again. So do you trade Voigt and then try DJ at first, which he's played a lot of this year with him being out? Glaber's actually a better second baseman, a natural second baseman. And then you obviously have Trevor Story where his normal position is short. You can try that. Just looking through teams, the Rays don't need one. They have like 3 shortstops in their farm system. Willie Adames, I believe, is like the number 1 prospect in baseball. He's a shortstop, so that's not going to happen. Red Sox have Xander Bogaerts. Orioles are just a bad team. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what team really makes that big push for him. I mean, obviously it's worth it in a way because he's a good player. So, I mean, if you can add him to the team, why not? I mean, I wouldn't mind the Yankees doing it. Like I said, I just don't know how it works out in the infield because I really don't feel like trading Luke Voigt. But it's kind of up in the air. I don't know if you have any teams from your research yet.
Well, I'm trying to figure out who it is, but I think I remember now. I would like to see the Angels make a push for him. Just because, Rendor, Trout, Otani, and just that lineup that they have. But I'm pretty sure their shortstop used to be a Red. I think it's Iglesias, who has had a decent year, not great, but I think Story would definitely be a
upgrade.
Yeah, I think it'd be an upgrade. And I think that would be good for them just for the fact that, we know who they are, where they're at, the standings. Let's see here. As I'm trying to bring them up.
Well, would you like to hear what MLB.com says are the best fits?
Well, hang on. If you don't mind, sorry, that's going to read. They're 6 games back from the Athletics, who we don't know if they'll sustain, and the Mariners are ahead of them. I mean, I think it's a good push for them to try to push for that. Another team I think is the Brewers, which I don't want to see that just because I think the Brewers are a better team than the Reds in their division. I don't want them to get stronger. Shortstop. Who's the Phillies have at short?
DD.
Who?
DD Gregorius, yeah.
Which I do think that would be an upgrade, but you just re-signed him during the free agency, so I don't think you're thinking
that's not happening.
Yeah. Obviously, Padres are not going to want him. Who's San Francisco have?
I honestly couldn't tell you, and that's probably bad considering I should know that, but I really don't know much about that Giants team, even though they've been pretty good this year.
Yeah, they're in first, but I couldn't tell you other than Posey who they really have on the team.
Literally only know like Kevin Gausman as the starting pitcher, and that's it.
And so who does MLB have?
MLB has the Yankees.
I don't think that happens. I really don't.
I don't think it does either. I seriously don't. They have the A's as well. I don't mind that one. The A's are in first place right now. Mm-hmm. But they have the number 26 ranked farm system, so
right.
I don't know how they do that. They have the Brewers. They do have your Reds on here.
Really?
And they have the Rays. But like I said, I don't think the Rays one makes sense.
Yeah. I mean,
I was wrong. Wander Franco is the number 1 prospect in baseball, not Willie Adames.
Yeah.
Willie Adames was the former shortstop that they had. So they have the Rays on here, but they have I'm pretty sure they have 2 or 3 shortstops in their farm system that are supposed to be good. So why are you going to trade for a shortstop?
Right.
Especially when the number 1 prospect in baseball
is Wander, and
he's a shortstop.
Yeah, he was going to play this year, but they moved him back down. And
they have 8 players on the top 100 list.
Wow, that's good. I was reading something about Wander actually today that he killed it this week as far as on the offense. He had a few home runs. I think he's got 8 hits in the last 9 games, at least a hit. I think he had a 3-run homer yesterday. So, I think the Rays, if the Rays were to make that trade, they're not looking to re-sign Story. We know that. It's just a rental. So I don't understand giving up prospects to just let him go later.
Let's see. I got another article here. The 4 best fits. Once again, the A's. They got the Reds again. Cleveland? And then the Yankees. So a lot of similar teams. It's looking like Yankees. It's looking like A's. Teams of that nature that are still kind of in it.
Here's my thing with the Reds. I think we definitely need a shortstop. I don't know what we would do, though, because the way our infield is, I don't know how we would make that work because we moved Suarez off of third to short. So, and Suarez has killed it, in my opinion, but been bad, killed it. But you can't move him back to third because who do we have at third?
I don't know. That's a you question.
My goodness, I can't even think. Because Moose is at second. Muskaskas.
Castellanos
is an outfield. Winker's outfield. Is it Farmer? Are we playing at third? My goodness, I feel so bad. I haven't forgot who my Reds have because they've sucked here lately. But here's my thing. What I was going to say about the Reds.
I'm sorry, but Devin Booker is cooking right now.
Good. I love Devin Booker. Beautiful man.
Well, you know what, Michael? While you do that,
I could see the Reds just for the fact that in the next 8 games, I think, we play St. Louis, who's 5 games ahead of us. We play them 4 games. So I think this is a very, I'm going to say a 10-game window that will let you know if the Reds are contenders or pretenders. So if we're contenders, I think we would be interested in that. But I don't think we're going to be. Keep going.
Well, I was going to move off of this and go into our what the stream is named after, our all-star ballot. If you're okay with that.
Oh, yes, of course.
All right, let's go. I filled one out, but I want to obviously fill one out with you. I think I might still have it. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't, but that's okay because I want to fill one out with you anyway. Now, Michael, I'm not going to be able to see you or see the comments, so if anybody says anything, you got to let me know because I have to do this. Now, first base. Obviously, you got to pick one American League, one National League. So let's do this, Michael. I think this one's easy, American League. And you know what? I'm going to give you props here, Michael.
Thank you. That's who I got. I've got Vlad. I've rode him like a horse.
Vlad has been unbelievable this year, batting .335, 17 home runs, 45 RBIs. And, I mean, even Gurriel, you kind of feel bad for him because he's having a great year, but he can't do anything. Trey Mancini, 284, 11 home runs, 44 RBIs, comeback player of the year easily for him. And then there's not too many other people in here. Jared Walsh, wow, okay. 304, 13 home runs, 39 RBIs, and 941 OPS. So some great first basemen this year. Choi's missed a lot of time. Abreu, 258, 11 home runs, 46 RBIs. All right. And then we go over to the National League. And this one's kind of gets interesting here. There's not as, the big names are kind of struggling. Pete Alonso, 250, only 7 home runs. Freddie Freeman, only 227, 12 home runs, 29 RBIs. Goldschmidt, only a 242 average. I have Eric Hosmer here, Michael.
I've got Hoskins from the Phillies.
Hoskins. Okay.
And I'm
not mad at it. He has obviously 7 more home runs. Hosmer has, the better average, less RBIs though. I don't blame you.
Okay.
I think you know what? I agree. I'll put what the hell just happened? Oh, it automatically goes back down after we do it. Okay.
Yeah, it goes second base.
All right, second base now. This one I had Marcus Semien for the AL. I mean, 301, 13 home runs, 32 RBIs. Some other players you could obviously go with here. Unfortunately, Altuve's playing pretty well. 296, 8 home runs, 24 RBIs.
He could be batting 1,000, and I wouldn't pick him.
Yeah, me neither. I can't stand him. All right, we'll go over to the National League side, of course. This one, I mean, here's my problem as well, right? I don't know much about Adam Frazier, so I don't know if that 333 average is good. I mean, I obviously know it's good, but I just don't know how many games he's played.
He's been their best player, I'll say that.
So he's been there the whole season, though. He's not like a call-up or anything.
Oh, no. I don't think he's been a call-up too much. If any. He's been there for
Actually, but I lied. Did Gene Segura miss time?
I don't know.
Because, I mean, he's 322, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs. Colton Wong even 284 home runs. I guess, Gene Jay Cronenworth, 282, 5 home runs, 18 RBIs.
I actually put Segura, but now
I think I did as well, but I just, like I said, I don't know if he's missed time.
And he's Gene with a J, just so you know.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about my other boy, Gene with the G. Okay.
That's right.
I got you. I mean, I'll put Frazier for this one, unless
I'm okay with that too. We can go Frazier.
Just like I said, I'm not sure if he's missed time or anything like that, so you can take some of these with a grain of salt. Third baseman, this one was kind of easy for me as well. I have Yohan Moncada, 301, 5 home runs, 30 RBIs. I mean, he's playing very well. I would love to see my man Gio make the All-Star team because the stats might not be there, but the Yankees would probably be under 500 if it wasn't for him. Devers, I mean, 279, 14 home runs with that big 43 RBI spot right there.
That's actually who I picked.
Devers. Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
okay, there we go.
Yeah, I can see it. Obviously, Moncada with the 301 got to me, but more production was coming out of Devers, and he has the better OPS. So
I went more with OPS and average. Like the home runs had to be a little bit, and I don't weigh RBIs as strong because there's one later on.
They're a very weird stat.
Obviously they mean a lot, but like there was a team, and I can't remember because I looked at it and I was like, man, I can't pick him because his RBIs are low. But the team sucked. Like, you it was someone for the Mets. I remember it was the Mets.
Well, I know this year, like, Judge only has like 30 RBIs or something like that, which I don't even think is top 10. And they were talking about it today, but it's because he can't drive anybody in because nobody's on base.
Right. And
it's literally all depends on how your team is.
You think of DeGrom, who's like has a losing record, I think, and he only gives up one run. Like, your team has to produce. Yeah, maybe. So I can't really put a lot of weight on the RBIs. Now, granted, in some situations, I will say, okay, yes, wow, look at this. But I'm not going to vote for somebody or not vote for somebody because their RBIs are low.
Yeah, I completely understand that. And then, I mean, I think this one's very easy as well. Third baseman on the National League side. I mean, Chris Bryant's been unbelievable.
He's been killing it.
321, 12 home runs, 36 RBIs. The trade question, that gets interesting. Because I mean, listen, if they stay hot like this, you can't trade them. You can't.
No. But
then again, you could trade them, get a lot back for them, and really rebuild. Here's my thing, Michael. It depends on record. It depends on their record.
Right. I think if it gets close to the All-Star break and he's playing good and they're still like a third, fourth place, personally, I would go ahead and try to abandon ship, get rid of him for much as you could, to think that your return that you're going to get will make you better next year or at least 2 years out.
I look at it this way. If you're more than 6 games out, I think 6 might be a little. I think 7, 8 games out, that's when you trade away. At that point, it's like, I mean,
with what point in the season?
Well, whenever the trade deadline is. I don't know exactly the exact date. I think it's before the All-Star break? No, it's after. It's after, isn't it?
Yeah, it's after. I'm pretty sure it's after.
So, I mean, if you're at that point after the All-Star break, you kind of know what you are by then. It's kind of like that Thanksgiving point in football, you know? By Thanksgiving, a lot of teams know what they are. And I think after the trade deadline, they kind of know what, or after the All-Star break, they kind of know what they are. So, could be interesting. It could be very, very interesting. And then we'll go to shortstop. This one was easy for me as well. Unfortunately, it is a Red Sox, but Xander Bogaerts. I mean, come on. 312, 10 home runs, 33 RBIs, 910 OPS. Like, what else do you really want?
I'm just going to back up here real quick. Gene has actually had 149 at-bats. So he's not missed much time if he has missed time. Because in 2020, he had 192 bats.
Well, it was also the 60-game season.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're up to like 50 games, so he's right there around there.
Yeah. All right. So, what are we at? Shortstop. Xander Bogaerts, I think that one was very easy.
I actually reached a little bit here. Don't hate me, but I went with Bichette.
I mean, I understand it. I mean, he does have more home runs, he has more RBIs, but I can't go wrong. I can't go against Bogaerts. And like I said, he's a Red Sox. It hurts me. But
I agree. And now I was between those two, but I do like Bo. So
I think he'll make
fan
the team,
favorite.
though. I think he would.
Obviously, I mean, one less home run and one less RBI, it's not going to hurt.
Yeah, but
Manders.
and 200 points on the OPS and
Yeah.
about 80 points on the batting average. Bogarts will probably get the
I was
start, but
I was a bit of a homer here, so I do think it's Xander.
listen, we're all kind of homers. Let's get real here.
That's right.
And then the National League side, our boy Trevor Story, but I don't know. I think it's easy. Tatis. I mean, actually I lied. Trey Turner. Come on.
I think it's Tatis, dude. He's got 16 home runs. OPI is 1.
Yeah.
And the average is only like 9 points different.
I mean, he missed some time.
Different.
He missed some time, but I mean,
it's Tatis.
Well, first of all, here's the other thing too. It'll be Tatis because he's the more popular player as well. So,
yeah.
I mean, did somebody just join us?
I'm full screen with you.
Matt? What is Matt Skura doing here, eh? I gotta wait for him to pop up on the screen before I add him. What's going on?
He may not have meant to join.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Maybe he did. Matt, are you wanting to join in?
Matt, are you here on purpose? I need to know.
I think we're just going to add him and just go with it.
No,
What's
Matt,
up, guys?
Are you here on purpose?
Thought I'd stop by to say what's up to you guys. You know
what? Hey,
well,
listen,
thank you.
I'll take it. What do you think about our All-Star ballot so far?
Well, I must say your All-Star ballot is very, very impressive. I like what I see. If anything, I would possibly say maybe throw a little bit of Max Muncy in, possible first baseman for the Dodgers. But other than that, I feel like the rest of your All-Star stat line is pretty solid.
Let's go back up. Go back up to
take a look. Let's go take a look.
You're picking him over Vlad?
No. He's in the National League. Come on. He said Max Muncy.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Max Muncy, okay. 268, 13 home runs, 30 RBIs, 964 OPS. And who did we end up going with? Rhys Hoskins, 270, 12 home runs. I mean, hey. 13.
On base percentage is higher.
OPS.
I mean, it's very close, but
close.
I will say you guys have a very, very solid list.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
You know what? Matt was nice enough to join the show. I'll switch it to Max.
Just for you.
Just for Matt. Just for the cheese man.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you.
And that will be my only Dodger on this list.
And then listen, Matt, you sticking around or you just popping in?
Oh, I like to stick around if it's all right with you guys.
Listen.
Well, I mean, you're already here. You've already pulled up.
I'm a very easygoing lad. We'll go to the American League and National League catcher selection. American League, very easy for me. Let me find him real quick. I can't find him.
Gary Sanchez?
No, Gary, definitely not him. Trust me. Here we go. Salvador Perez.
Okay, I was going to say, if you're looking
286, 14 home runs, 38 RBIs, 852 OPS. I mean, you look at some of these catchers' number. I mean,
yes.
Jesus. 224, 137, 144, 156. I mean, Jesus, I thought Gary was bad, but at least he's 205.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is still bad, but don't get me wrong. Yeah, but obviously Salvador Perez, very, very easy. And Michael, what's next? Do you know what's next?
I think the catching was pretty much the easiest for me as far as there's no two ways about it.
I thought this and the first base for the American League were the easiest.
Well, good. I thank you for finally buying into the Vlad.
Listen, I was never against him.
You were at first until you seen the picture of him losing 30 pounds.
No. I first of all, I was the one that brought up he lost weight.
I don't think so, but we'll go with it. I mean, there's no point arguing over it. I don't think you were.
Is Michael on the board of the Vlad train?
Oh, he is. He picked him for MVP.
I picked him. I am the Vlad fan club owner. But I think it's Posey hands down.
Yeah.
And I'm happy.
Yeah, because if not, it would be Yadier. He's going to make the team. He'll make the team, but it is Buster. I mean, 315, 10 home runs, 21 RBIs, 987 OPS. And let me tell you something. It's nice to see Buster Posey playing well again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I've seen the stat line that Posey's putting on. I'm like, what is this? Is this 2012 Buster Posey?
Yes.
Like, what is going on here? Like I'm just impressed the Giants as a whole are keeping up with this pace, and it's because it's because of old guys like Posey, who's just turning back the clock to the MVP. Even Evan Longoria's turning back the clock of when he was with the Rays. It's unbelievable how he's playing, how the Giants are playing.
Yeah. But I will say this: I don't think it would have been Yadier seconds. I think it actually would have been Real Muto. That's who my second would have been.
I think I had my second as Yadier, and then I would have went with Remuto. But your hatred, I was going to say your hatred goes.
And my love for Real Muto because I learned how to say his name right.
Hey, you know what? I forced that on you. I did.
You did, and thank you.
You're welcome. How do you say DJ's last name?
LeMahieu.
Good. Oh God!
I could cry
right now. I could cry.
Quick too.
All right.
Hey, Nick, how do you not Nick? Michael, how do you say Nick Castellanos' last name?
Castellanos.
There you go.
Thank you.
Maybe Anthony, if DJ LeMahieu was on the Reds, he probably would have known how to pronounce it earlier.
That's right. Actually, no, I stuck with Castellanos really bad because I want to say Castillos because we have Luis Castillo, and I always want to get those two going the same way.
All right,
but
boys.
I'm
I
working
think
on
it'll be easiest this way. We're going to pick the 3 outfielders for the American League, then we'll go over to the National League. How do we feel? All right.
Number 1, I put Buxton.
Here's my problem with Buxton, and you might argue with me.
I will.
Well, obviously, because you put him 1. If he was playing a lot, I would put him here easy. But, I mean, he's been out for a little bit now. Am I right? Is he back yet?
Here's the thing. Back or not, he is just right up there with everyone else in the numbers.
You make a good point. He had an unbelievable April. I mean, unbelievable.
Click on the home runs. Let's do the order in home runs if you don't care.
All right.
You know you can change that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I got you.
Yeah.
Holy shit. What the hell? McDonald's? Okay. Let's see. Where is he? All right.
There he is. So he's
not in a bad spot.
He's probably 7 down and missed a little bit. Now go to the average. I think he's number 1 on average.
Probably. Yeah, number 1. And then Daddy Trout.
Yes.
Now let's check OPS.
Yes.
Number 1.
So, I mean, it's
check RBIs. That's where it goes downhill. But, hey, listen, we said RBIs don't really matter too much, you know?
To us.
To us, yes. Let's say that properly,
so
I guess.
That's why I'm with him.
I'll put Byron.
Thank you.
Byron Buxton. Listen, I'm just saying.
We know the fish is on there.
Aaron Judge. 289, 13 home runs, 30 RBIs, 922 OPS. And Michael, listen, I know you don't like him because how much I talk about him. I have a question for you. Do you know who's played in the most games this season for the Yankees?
Aaron Judge?
It is.
Wow.
It is Aaron Judge. He has played in the most games. He's stayed healthy this year. He's been very, very good. So I have to. I can't not put him.
I mean, I can agree with you. I mean, it was between Judge and Hernandez up there.
Oh, Teoscar Hernandez? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. That was the 2 I went with. And I actually went ahead and went with the Hernandez is who I picked because he's got 30 RBIs, less home runs. So I kind of weigh that a little more as far as getting the RBIs with less home runs.
Less OPS.
To me. Yes. Plus the OPS and average. So in today's new era of baseball, that didn't make sense. In the new era of baseball, I feel like batting average should be weighed a lot more because home runs is where you're swinging for and you're striking out more. So if you can bat over 300, I think that should be an extra 2 points.
Yeah.
If you did a score. But that's me. So I went with Hernandez, and honestly, it's because it's Aaron Judge Yankee that I was persuaded there.
And then the last spot, listen, here's where it gets hard. Ready?
No.
Don't
you dare.
Trout's been out for a while, and so has Buxton. And I'm sorry, but we cannot ignore what this man is doing. So let me find him first, if I actually can. Look at this. Adonis Garcia. 283, 16 home runs, 41 RBIs, 885 OPS. You cannot leave him off of this. And let me tell you something. If I change one thing, I would. I think. I don't know. I think I would put Trout instead of Buxton.
Really?
I'm leaving Trout up there. I don't care what anybody says to me. That's not changing.
I have to.
But I mean, look at 283, 16 home runs, 41 RBIs. I mean, that's very impressive. Matt, how do you feel?
I think it's very solid. I'm going through some of the All-Star votes that I'm going to cast out as well. I'm looking at the All-Star outfielders. I think a sleeper guy to watch out for, he may not be nominated, but a sleeper guy to watch out for has been Andrew Benintendi of the Kansas City
He's
Royals.
up here. I do. Yeah, right here.
Yeah, he's up there. Now, I wouldn't say he'd be one of the first guys to be selected, but he could be a possibility, say if a superstar like a Trout or Buxton gets hurt, you could see possibly Benintendi there. But I will say, Anthony, I love that you mentioned Garcia. I'm looking at his stat line, like you mentioned, 283, 16 homers, 41 RBIs, 885 OPS. I think you have to nominate them just because of the stats. It doesn't matter of the name. Obviously, yeah, you're going to nominate All Rise for the Judge. You're going to nominate Mike Trout because of the name. But you also have to look at the stats and say, Garcia's been putting up some fantastic numbers. So
yeah, Garcia, I can't.
You can't leave him off.
Numbers. Now with 41 RBIs with the Texans, or the Texans. Wow, I'm so Rangers. Sorry. The Rangers. I am so sorry. I mean, you've got to give him love. Now I will say, like I said, I actually put Hernandez, Trout, and Buxton. Okay. Man, I don't know who I could replace for him.
See, here's
a sleeper player. Sorry to interrupt, Anthony. If you want to throw in a sleeper guy just for like a namesake, you could possibly throw in Randy Arozarena. I know his stat line is not popping off: 254, 7 homers, 27 RBIs, 740 OPS. But if you want like a familiar name that people are going to know who they possibly might vote for, it might be Randy Arozarena.
Mm-hmm. It gets tough in the outfield. There's three so positions, but there's so many players. So, here's how I'm looking at it as well, because I kind of don't like it anymore that they just have it as outfield and not left, center, right. Because I think it would make it a lot easier. Because I think Judge would run away with right field because I believe that Garcia plays center. I believe Buxton's a center fielder, and I think, I know Trout's a center fielder. Mm-hmm. So that's where it would get tight, and then I don't even know about left field. I honestly don't know which one of these are left fielders. So, but I don't know. I can't leave off Garcia. Like I said, I think Judge earns that right field spot, and then the third person I think you can fight for. If it's Buxton, if it's Trout, if you want to reward somebody who's played a little bit more, you can go with Benintendi. I mean, I'll go with Hernandez.
It breaks my heart, but I can say that Trout doesn't belong. It's hard for me to do it because he's batting 333. But
even Cedric Mullins.
Yeah.
298, 6 home runs, 14 RBIs, 838. And those RBIs are probably down. He's on the Orioles, and he's also their leadoff hitter, I believe.
Oh, so yeah. Where's the other outfielder for the Orioles? Can't think of his name. Starts with an M that was battling cancer.
Manson?
Yes.
I don't see him on here. Are you talking about Mancini?
Yes, Mancini.
He's the first baseman now.
I was close. I had the Manson.
Yeah, okay. Mancini's the first baseman now.
I'm sorry. On my fantasy team, he's outfield and first base.
Yeah, so he's the first baseman now. So he gets booted out for Vlad.
Yeah,
but I think he makes the team because he's been unbelievable. And like I said, he's the easy comeback player of the year. So beating the cancer and everything. I mean, look, even Randall Grichuk. There's a lot of good players in the outfield. It's just that simple.
Mm-hmm. But so do you have her 3?
I was going to say I think we have the 3.
Okay.
Garcia, Judge, Buxton. Any final arguments?
I mean, one thing I will say that will definitely stir up the pot is not having Trout's name in there. I think Trout. I mean, I know we go like off of stat lines and like whether you're healthy or not, but I think Trout is one of those players where it doesn't matter if he's healthy or not. Just his name is going to be enough to get him on the All-Star team.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I think Trout, Buxton, and all those players will make it, but they might not play in the game because of injury reasons, and then that's why you see other people make it. I think it'll be one of those situations. So I don't think we're stressing over, but I think a lot of these players are still going to make it anyway. But we had our fun there. Let's go over to the NL side. And one immediately.
Yay!
Ronald Acuna. I mean, 290, 17 home runs, 35 RBIs, a 1.021 OPS. I mean,
he's
really?
not the number one.
He's unbelievable.
He's not.
Now, Michael, I know where we're getting to.
He's not the number one.
Castellanos. 366, 12 home runs, 31 RBIs, 1.064 OPS. Obviously has to make the team.
Yes. Can you go back up and compare those two since you had him as the number one? Acuna.
290 to 366. I know.
Castellanos
17
wins.
home runs, 12 home runs.
Okay.
35 RBIs, 31.
I mean,
and
it's
then
the Reds.
1.021 and 1.064. So, yeah, listen.
Castellanos. Nicholas Castellanos, who probably after the All-Star break will never be a Red again.
Oh.
Possibly.
But hey, those young prospects that you trade for will look real nice.
And then, Michael, I'm going to make you happy again when I filled this out.
Are you going with Winker?
I was.
Please go with Winker. Yes. Thank you.
I was going with Winker when I filled this out earlier. I mean, 346, 14 home runs, 31 RBIs, a 1.045 OPS. Kind of hard to do. Kind of hard to go against, honestly. Let's be real here. I mean, there's obviously some other players you can go with. Juan Soto might, the name recognition.
He's only got 6 home runs, though.
Yeah, Brian Reynolds. I mean, 289, 8 home runs, 26 RBIs. Not a bad year for him. Brandon Nimmo, but I believe he's been out a lot of the year. Starling Marte. I mean, hey, 323. He must be out though, because there's no way he only has 3 home runs and 10 RBIs.
He's been out. He's on my fantasy.
Listen, Kettle Marte missed some time because I have him on my fantasy team, but since he's been back, 367, 4 home runs, 13 RBIs, 1.015 OPS. I mean, he'll probably get some votes because people are going to look at numbers instead of how many games they've played. But Michael, I said it. I got Winker.
Thank you. That's who, of course, I had. But those are my 3 outfielders.
Obviously, the thing that'll stir up some attention on the NL side, no Mookie.
Mm-hmm.
There's no Cody Bellinger over here, Matt. I know that you're Mr. Dodger, so I mean, how do you feel? Listen, I know that they're great in the name recognition, but these numbers, I mean, come on.
I mean, it's understandable. I understand Bellinger. Bellinger's definitely not making the All-Star game. I mean, he was out for too long, and even when he came back, yesterday he had a 2-run single and hit a grand salami, but he really wasn't putting up any numbers beforehand. He's kind of looking like the Bellinger of old, where he was just a strikeout machine in the postseason. He'll work his way back in the fold. Leaving out Mookie Betts, I think it's understandable. I mean, you look at Mookie's stat line; it's not the greatest. 264, 5 homers, 20 RBIs. I could understand leaving him out. One Dodger player that I would not sleep on for the outfield, in my opinion, is Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor is a guy, 281, 7 home runs, 28 RBIs, 882 OPS. He's one of those players where he may not be the first selected, but I would possibly consider him. I mean, if there's multiple injuries, like if Ronald Acuna is it a go, I'd say throw in some votes for Chris Taylor. He's been consistent. I mean, he hasn't been lighting it up like Ronald Acuna or anything, but Chris Taylor's a player to where if you're not gonna vote for Bellinger or Betts for the Dodger side of things, Chris Taylor is a name to possibly throw in the hat as well. But overall, your outfield list was pretty solid, and I understand leaving Bellinger and Betts out because they have not been putting up MVP stat numbers that I thought they were going to put up earlier in the season. Now, Bellinger has just been for injury's sake. Betts, it's just been, I don't know, money, second year. I mean, Betts will kick it in gear. Yeah, World Series hangover. He'll get it in gear. It'll just be after the All-Star break.
Now, Matt, let me ask you a quick question, just to stir the pot a little bit. If the Dodgers don't even come close to making it to the World Series this year, does that make a bigger asterisk over last year's World Series?
I don't think so. I don't think it makes a bigger asterisk. I think it'll just prove the same point that the Dodgers still can't get the job done in the playoffs when it matters. Because you look at last year, the Dodgers got lucked out thanks to Atlanta blowing a 3-1 lead. If you put in any other team besides Atlanta, they don't lose that series 3-1. But because it's Atlanta, knowing for their playoff history, you knew they were going to blow a 3-1 lead. It'll just take more of a hit on Dave Roberts per se. Because what has Roberts done before last year? Known as a guy who choked in the playoffs, horribly mismanaged playoff games. That'll just further ensure the case of, hey, maybe this guy, he won a World Series, but he's got a track record of blowing it. He just got to go. Like that. That's what I think will happen if they fail to make the World Series. Now, if they end out, this is absurd to the max. If they somehow fail to make the playoffs, you got to can them on the spot. Like on the go, you got to can them on the spot. I don't care what the hell you did last year. You mean to tell me with this stacked roster you missed the playoffs? You got to go. But if it's like you mentioned, Michael, if they lose in the division series, if they lose in the championship series, or even lose in the World Series, which we're good at, then it'll be one of those situations to where others will say, it's the same old Dodgers. They just got lucky in the bubble, and the Braves were just the Braves.
Sounds good. Honest answer there too. So let's go ahead and get the final one.
I was going to say, I don't know how we vote for the DH though.
For the DH, it only gives the American League.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm surprised that they don't just put a bunch of hitters in here because they have a DH in the All-Star game. So why wouldn't you include National League players on this?
Yeah, and here's one thing's for certain. I would love to see Daddy Hacks Nelson Cruz. I'd love to see him in the All-Star game, but I think it's either Showtime. It's either Showtime, Shohei Ohtani, or Yordan Alvarez. Those are the only two.
Wow.
What are you talking about? JD Martinez.
I went with JD Martinez.
JD, okay, three people. JD Martinez.
Let's take a look at some people. There's Ohtani. 262, 15 home runs, 40 RBIs. I mean, hey, it's not bad. I mean, your mean Mercedes too, 299. He was real hot, but I don't know. I can't go against JD. I mean, 322, 12 home runs, 39 RBIs compared to what? 304, 7 home runs, 27 RBIs.
This almost looks like the MVP. Well, no, World Series JD Martinez.
Oh yeah,
okay.
This looks. No, I thought he won an MVP. Did he not?
No, that was Mookie. Mookie Betts won the MVP that year.
Oh yeah,
JD Martinez was virtually. I thought so too, but that was like, wait a minute, Mookie won, and then JD had a phenomenal.
I gotta go with JD Martinez.
That's who I went with.
Have to. Now I wonder if I can zoom out here. If there's a way that I can get the whole list in here. Probably
you're
not.
Close.
Yeah, but I can't get the whole list. I was going to have somebody take a picture of it. We were going to post it on the good old MLB Twitter account, but I mean, hey, maybe what if I hit a review and submit? Oh, here we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Man, that right there, people, is your All-Star game. I'm calling it. Let's actually, for the screenshot purposes, I'm going to do this.
There you go.
And then I'm going to come right back.
Well,
hold on, wait a minute. Hold up. Wait.
Good.
Oh.
I put a tail on it. Let's see what I did.
Perfect. No, yeah. But yeah,
what I love about my list, and I'm sorry guys, but I do not have a single Dodger and I do not have a single Yankee on my list.
Oh, disrespecting the judge?
Well, damn. I went with the judge for him.
I mean, that's the only person that I think from the Yankees makes the team.
Yeah,
besides
pretty
pitching
much.
Right.
wise, obviously.
Oh yeah, because you know.
Here's a
King
question.
Cole.
I was gonna say, here's a question. Who do you guys have starting these All-Star games? I think obviously National League is easy. It's DeGrom.
It
you're saying
has to be
Oh no,
DeGrom.
starting pitcher, Michael. This is obvious.
I honestly think it's going to be the Battle of New York.
I think
It's
I think
going to be Garrett Cole in the American League, Jacob DeGrom in the National League.
Okay.
It's poetic. It's poetic. It has to be. I mean, if you were going to say another player in the NL, I mean, for namesake, maybe Trevor Bauer, maybe just because of the name, but it's pretty much DeGrom.
Flaherty.
Even Flaherty too, possibly.
Jack Flaherty's been very, very good this year.
Now, this will be a hot take. If somehow they decide to have Shohei Ohtani start in the AL,
Hell no.
I mean, will it happen? Hell no. But that's why we got hot takes, my friend, because it's too hot to handle.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's another pitcher that I throw in. Besides Garrett Cole, I would not be surprised if Shane Bieber possibly got a start. You could possibly throw his name in the hat.
I'm looking at the ERA averages right now, or stats. Lance Lynn, I mean, he got a 1.23. I mean, he's 7-1, a 1.23. He might he could get it.
You know, this year has been so fun for baseball just because we get to see all of the old guys who were thought to be washed turning back the clock. Like this looks like the Lance Lynn for the old St. Louis Cardinals days. Back in the early 2010s, the way how he's been slinging it out there.
He's been good. I mean, I think I want it to be the Battle of New York, but I don't know. With Lance Lynn with a 1.23, I mean, Cole has a 2.26, so it's not like he's struggling or anything besides today, which still wasn't his fault because the umpires were absolutely dog water, but that's okay. So I want it to be the Battle of New York, but
you know what? It's going to be Chapman. He's going to start.
Well, listen, Chapman is making the All-Star team running away because he's been unbelievable.
And it kills me. Flat out kills me.
Have you seen him pitch this year at all?
Yes.
It's been unreal.
Yes. Like when he pitched, I'm trying to just.
I'm going to take away our All-Star ballot right now. But
okay. When he pitched with the Reds, he sucked. Like, I mean, he did good. Don't get me wrong. He was an All-Star, or even then.
Well, as a closer, he wasn't bad.
Well, he never was a starter, but as a closer,
he was.
Chapman. No,
that's what he started as.
Are you? I don't think so.
Michael, I'll bet you any amount of money you want right now.
Ooh,
he was a starter, and they made him a closer or somebody coming out of the bullpen.
I'm gonna say I just don't remember that. Okay.
It's fine.
I thought for sure Michael was going with double down and say, you know what? I'll bet my cow on this one.
Oh,
yeah, that's a cow. That's a cow.
She's doing fine, just so you know.
Good.
Oh, it's a she.
Oh yeah.
All right.
You looking it up right now?
Yes. And this is per internet, per Google. On paper, nearly everything about moving Chapman into a starting role made sense. Though he never made a major league start, Chapman came up from Cuba as a starting pitcher, but he never has started a game pitching in the MLB. Bam.
So we're both right because he was a starter.
No, don't even try to act like you were right because of Cuba. Don't even act like that's what you
meant.
He
was definitely a starter in the minors or something.
Okay. He's definitely a starter in Little League.
Hey, listen. Could have been.
Come on.
I'm right.
You were wrong, and you know it.
No.
My man really threw out starter in Little League.
Yeah, Matt, for real. Who was right? Who do you give credit for?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really follow that. I personally had no idea. Now they do call me Wise Cheeks. I'm a wise guy, but I'm gonna stay out of this one because I have not done any research on that. So I am not going to ruin the reputation of Wise Cheese. This is a settlement between you two.
Well, it was settled because Google already said he's never
Yeah,
started.
that I'm
a
right.
single
Hey,
NFL game.
if Google says it never start, maybe even send out an email to Ken Rosenthal. Maybe
There
throw
we
it
go.
out there, throw it out to
MLB,
Jeff Passan and
stat.
say, hey, me and my buddies here, we're on this Backstop Banter crew. Maybe you should stop by. We're having
Speaking
we're
of
having
stopping
this
by, you know who
conversation.
followed me today?
Who did?
Or actually, not followed me, but followed the Gen Z account
Who did?
randomly.
Trey Wingo?
No, Trey Wing already follows you, but don't worry. Mr. October.
Derek Jeter?
No, Reggie. Really, Reggie Jackson.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know why. And
Is
like,
it the legit?
yes, no, check mark and
The
everything.
legit Reggie Jackson?
I'll show you right now. Hold on, let me get it up.
You get the share screen.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, we can't see.
Oh
nothing.
God, come on. You
Horrible.
can do it, phone.
I don't believe it
Come on.
unless
Oh my-
Google tells me.
Oh, come on.
I got
Oh,
this.
there you go.
Oh, there we go. Reggie Jackson, blue check mark.
Look at that.
I don't know if I believe it.
I don't know why. I mean, I'm not going to complain.
Ooh, here, Anthony, look at this. Somebody has a question for this panel.
Okay.
Let's hear it. What's the question?
I enjoy questions thoroughly.
As long as it's not disrespecting the Yankees or Aaron Judge.
Well, yeah, because Aaron Judge is a god. So, but yeah, I don't know why. Reggie Jackson randomly followed me today. I DM'd him already. I said, "Hey, listen, got some
Look,
podcast."
King Griffey Jr. follows me on Twitter. See, look, see,
Michael,
that's his.
I
there-
literally showed it to you.
Can you see? Oh,
Can you not read?
Oh
Bro.
man, can you see? Gosh.
Can you not read? It says follow me.
Yeah, but we don't know. I don't see follow me. Do you see follow me?
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
right
make
there.
that up.
Reggie
It says
Jackson.
it says the following in the corner.
No, look under the Reggie Jackson. The right.
We can't
right
read
here.
that.
Yeah,
can't
you
read
know
it.
what? You know what? I'm going to look. I'm going to look up this Reggie Jackson just
Is
to
it
see
the real?
if
Bro,
it is.
there is a blue check mark there.
That doesn't mean a thing.
Yes, it does.
No, it just means he has enough fans.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Is
It doesn't mean he's verified that it's actually the Reggie Jackson. It
yes,
just mean
it does.
no.
Michael, are you serious right now?
I mean, here I am trying to argue a Gen Z guy, but okay, here's the question. I have been surprised. Oh, I guess
I've been surprised at how Boston has done this week. There have been a surprise for many baseball. I'm curious how far you see this team going in the playoffs. If they make it, in this case, a one and done team, or could the Red Sox, with all their flaws, be a team that could be a World Series contender? Listen, nobody saw it coming. You ask a lot of the people in the baseball world, they were the fourth best team in the division, right? I mean, the Blue Jays were going to be better than them. The Yankees were going to be better than them. The Rays were going to be better than them. So they were going to be the fourth place team. Obviously, the Orioles were going to be worse.
I honestly want to say that you said they would lose almost 100 games, if not 100.
I definitely did not say that. I said the Pirates and the Rockies. I never said the Red Sox.
Oh,
I said they would be bad.
Michael, I looked it up. He is correct. Reggie Jackson at Mr. October, hanging with bro, and then it has all that. It's fact. It looks like it.
So how about that one, Michael?
Well, he said it looks like it.
But
Well,
I'll-
it literally is. It says info at reggiejackson.com, Mr. October
Oh.
Foundation.
Okay.
Insta,
I'll-
Reggie Jackson 44. This
How about
looks
that
like
one?
the real deal.
how
Okay.
about that one?
Kudos to you then. But yeah, even in that conference, you got the Rays, you got the Yankees, you got the Blue Jays, who we have a bet that if the Blue Jays doesn't finish above Yankees, I have to pay you $1. But the
Listen, you
Yankees,
go ahead. Ask away.
but if the Blue Jays do, then I get $100. So
Ooh.
yeah, in this even conference here, I would have thought they'd been fifth place or fourth place, like you were saying.
Yeah, I was going to say they wouldn't have been worse than the Orioles.
No,
That's
they
hard.
would have been
So-
worse than-
I think they just
I would
lost
say-
14 games straight, actually.
Wow. So I think the whole MLB world is surprised by how well Boston has done. And they've been on the pace, really. Like the Rays have caught fire. They've won 7 of their last 3. The Red Sox are still 5-5.
I think
of their
they won, like-
7 and 3
I think
of
they
their
won
last
like
10.
15 of their last 18.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, they're definitely hot. The Red Sox are doing good. Martinez, as we just said, we're going to put in our ballot for the DH. Can they keep it up?
Michael, actually, they have 3 All-Stars according to us.
Who else did we put?
Xander Bogaerts, Rafael Devers, and JD Martinez. So, I mean...
Yeah, so, I mean, they right now, yes, I think that they can keep it up. I would be surprised if they...
See, this is where the long
it's tough.
comes into effect. Obviously, if this is last year, the 60 games, it's a different story. Listen, until you prove us wrong.
I mean, right now they played 55 games. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing that I'm at. Like my mind wants to say there's no way they can do this, but my heart says that they're doing it. Like they are proving us wrong. But can they withstand it? My mind wants to be like, no, there's no way in this division alone can they even make the wild card. But right now they're looking great, and I don't think they've taken any big losing spells. So yeah, I want to see them all the way up.
I've seen as well so many times with Boston where they start off well and fall off a cliff. I'm a bit skeptical as well. This team is going to be the division because they have so many flaws. My second question is, do you believe the cliff is coming for Boston? If so, when? Because I just can't see them winning the division.
I'll follow up with some of the questions that he has above. I'll kind of, if you guys don't mind, I'll kind of add in on this a little bit. I feel like Boston. The story that they have so far is great. I'm gonna be honest. I agree with you guys. I had Boston as like a 3rd or 4th place team. I had Yankees, Rays, kind of like the 1-2 punch before the season started. Whoever's going to win that division is going to be close, and then Boston and Toronto will be battling 3rd and 4th, and then obviously Orioles 5th. But the way how they've been playing right now, I mean, it's very impressive. And you look at they have a good run differential. It's plus 44. It's not like one of those where they're fringing on -6, +4. No, they have a pretty good margin. And like you guys mentioned earlier, they have some all-stars. JD Martinez, possibly Devers, Xander Bogaerts. They got a lot of players on the squad. But one thing I will say to then follow up this. I do think they will fall off a little bit. I think for Boston, how they will look as a team will be how they are at the trade deadline. Because if they are one of those where they think they can make the playoffs, they're going to go in. They're gonna make some trades and they're gonna make a playoff push. And they're gonna look at the roster and say, you know what, we're still at the head of the wild card. We still got a shot. Let's go for the playoffs. But if they kind of look near the trade deadline, which is near the end of July, and they kind of look and say, look, guys, I understand we're playing above expectations, but let's not try and mess up our young core going in on a playoff piece just for this year. Let's just ride it out with the team that we have. If we make the playoffs, great. That just means we're ahead of schedule. And if we miss the playoffs, you know what? So be it. We'll just go into the off season and simply go from there. I just think the Red Sox, this may be interesting, but the Red Sox, they kind of remind me of the Atlanta Braves when like Ronald Acuna first started getting started, where not a lot of people expected Boston to be good, and even the same thing with Atlanta, but yet they outperformed their team. They outperformed how they were projected through the season, and they did well. Boston kind of has that same feel to where nobody really expected them to be good, but they have a chance to exceed expectations and maybe make the playoffs to where nobody thought they could.
Well, here, let me back it up with some stats and why.
Please back it up. Oh, sorry.
Hey, excuse me. Whoa. Listen, the Red Sox have the 3rd best OPS in all of baseball. They have the 3rd best average in all of baseball. They're tied for 9th in home runs. They are 6th in RBIs, and they are 4th in runs. That's just the hitting side of it. You go to the pitching side of it, their ERA is – I just saw it before. Where'd it go? Is 13th with a 3.90. I mean, not bad. Awful.
Right.
So, I mean –
well, and
you
we also
cliff, you could say this.
We also have to keep in mind they don't even have Chris Sale yet. yet they're 10 games
Well,
above 500.
Yeah, I mean, and that's
So
the
the
thing.
pitching is only going to get better. It's not like
You're
their pitching
this
staff is going
good
to get worse.
in all of the hitting categories. It's not like that, and Matt brought it up too. Their run differential is very good, so it's not like you're sitting there where you're winning you're winning like a 4-3 game or this that. You're a plus 44 win or run differential.
That's huge.
You're in the top 10.
Yeah,
in all,
it's not. It's also, sorry to interrupt. It's not like you're the Mets where you're just hovering above. You're just 6 games above 500. You're plus 6, borderline playoff team. No, they're playing like this. This is a legit squad.
No, but like I said, you're in the top 10 in every single offensive category. Like I said, OPS is 3, average is 3, home runs they're tied for 9th, RBIs they're 6th, and then runs they're 4th.
So yeah,
I mean you're in the top.
Right now,
you're technically in the top 9 in everything. So, could there be a cliff? Could things start going wrong? Listen, I'll tell you what. One thing that equalizes everything: injuries. Everything gets equal with injuries. I don't think they've sustained any yet. I think they've been pretty healthy, and you obviously hope that continues because you never wish injuries upon people, no matter what. But I mean, eventually it might happen. So, I mean, hey, this might be unpopular, but I, as a fan of Boston, think they should blow the team up at the deadline. Why? We are one and done team. In my opinion, the bullpen is lacking, and while yes, hitting is essential, we will have no help for the pitchers further in games we go. To me, it is better, as you said, to preserve the young core and help them try to make the playoffs and go one and done. Just my opinion, for what it's worth.
Here's one thing.
This is kind of the same thing that is happening with the Cubs right now, though, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the beginning of the season, a lot of people said, well, the Cubs are probably going to end up being sellers. Chris Bryant's going this, that. The Red Sox, people probably thought, maybe Sale gets traded even though he's injured. Maybe they move off of Martinez because, I mean, I think coming into the season, as JD Martinez wanted to get traded. And now he's playing like this. So here's the thing. I don't think you can blow up the team if you're playing this well. Because I think, even though you're a fan, so I can't tell you how to feel, I think the majority of fans would lose their mind if you're a first place team and then blow it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't make sense. And it might put them further back when it goes into the future. But at the moment, I feel like you just got to kind of ride it because you don't have a choice. Like, how does it look if ownership and the GM and everybody blows the team up when you're in first place? Like, that doesn't happen.
And with the records, as far as the leagues, in the American League, it's the Rays, the White Sox, the A's, and then Red Sox. So they're a 4th place in wins right now, or just in records. So there are 2+ in the wild card. So, I mean, I don't think you blow it up if you're actually going to be making the playoffs. I totally understand. Like, I don't think Martinez keeps going like this as far as maybe next year. I don't think he's going to be more than a 1-year wonder on this. Obviously, his past career, I understand, but he's up into his age that, sometimes you just find glory as you're going out. I'm not trying to be a hater on that, but I don't think you blow this team up. Now, you've got the parts here, you're set, and you know your weaknesses. There's going to be moves that you can make to better those.
That's exactly what I was going to say. What the weaknesses in the bullpen, trade deadline, instead of being a seller, you're a buyer.
You're a buyer. And what I even think, too, like, it's the Red Sox. Like, don't take much away from them. Don't get me wrong. But I think they're going to be buyers no matter what because of the situation they're in. They don't have to be, like, far into the playoffs for this to be a good year and set them up for next year. Like, if they do better than the Yankees this year, no matter what, I think it's a good year for them. Like, even if something happened that both the Yankees and Red Sox didn't make the playoffs, if the Red Sox beat the Yankees in the record by the end of the year, it's a successful year for them.
I think if they're anything other than – if they make the playoffs at all, screw the Yankees. I mean, wild card, win the division, it's success.
Well, I was saying if neither one of them made the playoffs. Okay. Because, if there is somewhat of a plateau or a cliff that they're going to fall off of, they're still right there right now. I mean,
and here's the thing too. I did look at their schedule, and it made me a little bit more hesitant. I mean, they've played the Orioles, the Rays, who were good, but the Rays struggled very much in the beginning of the season. I mean, they were awful. Then they played the Twins, who's one of the worst teams in baseball. They played the White Sox. Obviously, they've had some injuries. They played the Blue Jays. They played the Mariners, another bad team. The Mets, another bad team because they've been injured. Not saying that the Mets overall are going to be bad. Then they went and played
not too bad.
Then they played the Rangers. Then the Tigers, who's the worst team in baseball. Orioles again, terrible. Then they played the A's, but when they did play the A's, they lost 2 out of 3 to them. Then they dominate the Angels like many teams do. The Phillies, they haven't been good. The Braves haven't been good. And then recently they went and played the Astros, who have been pretty solid, and they lose 3 out of 4. So, I mean, you look at the teams they've played, and they haven't been the greatest. Now, here's my other thing to that. You can only play who's on your schedule. And I will always say that because I hate when people are like, oh, but the record, this, that. You can only play who's on your schedule. And you know what?
I'm going to stop you right there. I am stopping you right there. That is exactly what you say to Trevor Bauer and his Cy Young last year.
You're right. You're right.
They only play the Central, or he only played the Central last year. So.
Well, yeah, because I mean, he shouldn't have gotten the big contract, but you can only play your schedule.
But
so,
I'm
just you're right.
Just saying, you're right. I am right.
I know.
But keep going.
But I mean, so they haven't played the greatest teams right now, but this is also what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to beat the bad teams, and that's what they've done. So you can't take anything away from them. Even me as a diehard fan, there's no way this team is getting to the ALCS or the World Series.
That is true. I could get it. I could get behind that. If they do somehow make the playoffs, it will either be as a wild card or a somehow shock the world division winner, and that's it. In my opinion, they will be one and done. Whether that be like in the wild card game or somehow they win the division and they'll lose the division series in 4 games. Actually, it'll be one and done. And one thing I want to say to this guy, if he really wants, I know he's a diehard fan. If he really wants the Red Sox to go rebuild, how are you going to unload the contracts? How are you going to unload Chris Sale's contract? How are you going to unload JD Martinez's contract? Unless if the Red Sox have a way to opt out of those contracts, you really can't trade out of contracts because if there's one thing about baseball, if you're stuck with the bad contract, you're stuck with the bad contract. Look at the Orioles with Chris Davis. Ain't nobody going to want that contract to move out of it just because the dude stinks. Now, granted, you could look at JD Martinez and say, yeah, the contract may be suspect, but he's playing really good. Why don't people want that? Well, like Michael mentioned earlier, he's up there in age. This could be one of those where one last
don't worry, he's coming. He's going to address that. Yeah, listen. And by the way, Dark Stage, I'm just saying, I hope you gave us a follow on Twitch. I don't know if you're watching on my Twitch or the Unwrapped Twitch, but I hope either one you gave us a follow because it's been a lovely conversation, my friend. Yeah,
we appreciate it. You know, you may be a Red Sox fan, and Anthony may be a Yankees fan, but this is the most civil I've ever seen between.
Listen, I'm a civil man. I'm a civil man. I can respect what the Red Sox are doing right now.
Sorry, my headphone died, and it's 100% charged though, so I don't know how that happened.
Just unacceptable, honestly.
For real.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm curious to see because you're right. Here's the thing: you have to find somebody to take the contract, and I'm pretty sure the Sale contract and the JD Martinez contract are definitely not the cheapest ones on the market. So
they'd still probably have to be paying on it, like themselves would be paying.
So yeah, I mean, just kind of like what the Angels are doing with Pujols. Thank you, Angels.
Well, yeah, and what you're doing, and what the Yankees are doing with Stanton. I mean, the Marlins are technically still paying some of that contract. The Yankees aren't paying him all the money. That's the only reason they got him. So
well, and also Derek Jeter works for the Marlins. That's how you also got.
Shout out my man, bro.
You got the easy in.
Shout out my man. I'm just saying. I'm excited to see what Mr. Sage is going to say here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, hey, Michael.
Yes.
Cool shirt. Like the salmon color.
Oh, okay.
You look like you're ready for some golfing.
You know what? I haven't been golfing in about 5 years.
I suck.
I don't really know if I do or not.
I'm going to play a lot when I'm in Myrtle, though. I'll tell you that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think there's 80 golf courses within 15 minutes of me.
Yeah, there's all kinds in South Carolina, so that's probably where you're going.
Yeah. I'm happy.
Yeah.
The reason I stopped playing is because my driver, I broke it.
They're expensive.
Broke a driver?
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah. Well, let me back up. I'm left-handed,
So am I.
Oh, nice. I don't like to spin.
Actually, wait. I don't know if I've told you this. I'm weird though, because I'm actually right-handed, but baseball I throw righty and bat lefty.
Okay.
So you're
basketball,
basically ambidextrous.
No, because I can't do it with my left at all. And then basketball I shoot righty, and then baseball I hit lefty and golf lefty. It's weird. All my brothers are like that. We're all righties, but bat lefty, and my dad's actually a lefty and bats righty.
The response is in.
Boston's issue is management. They lowball and offer these crazy contracts that hamstring them for years. Boston should keep Sale this year regardless, and then see in the offseason if they can get decent pitching help in the bullpen for him or some prospects. His contract to me is an albatross. You need to free up cap space if you're going to go after big-name players. But I do not trust management to do anything right, but these are the same people who pushed Lester out the door and treated him very unfairly. Now, with that being said, though, this is technically new management. Because if I am correct, and I'm pretty sure I am, they have a new GM for this season, I believe.
Yes, just I believe they do, because I do believe the old one either resigned or stepped down, because I don't remember them saying like he was fired, but I do remember like one of them saying he either stepped down or resigned.
What's his name? Brian O'Halloran.
Oh yeah, that's definitely new, because like there's an old dude who's it was like the mob like something started with like a D of some sort.
Yeah, I think a capital D too.
You're so annoying. List of Red Sox owners and executives. Oh, let's see this. Team presidents. Let's go to general managers. Oh, look at it. A perfect list. That's crazy. So Mike Hazen was the GM from 2015 to 2016. And then here it says they didn't have a GM in 2016 to 2019, but now they have Brian O'Halloran. So technically, I guess he's new. Theo Epstein was there for a while.
Yeah, because Theo Epstein brought them the World Series in 2013.
Yes. Theo Epstein broke the curse, I believe. No, he didn't. No, who did? Oh, wait, no, he did break the curse because
he did.
They won
he did
in 2004. He was there 2002 to 2005. So hey, it is new management. You know what? You know what you're reminding me of right now, Sage? The Mets. Okay, you're talking about ownership. Okay, but hey, I don't know how involved ownership is in the Red Sox. So, excuse me. John Henry and company, I do not trust them. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how involved they are in the team, because obviously some owners literally just own the team and then collect their money and go to games when they feel like it, and other owners actually care. You know,
like Jerry Jones.
I was going to say Jerry Jones. You know, you think back George Steinbrenner. So I don't know how involved he is, but hey, he brought in a new GM, things like that. So sometimes
I'm just going to say this. I know there's trust issues. I understand that. But just enjoy the ride.
I was going to say that. Enjoy it while you can. Listen, if they do fall apart, you look smarter than everybody else. But hey, for right now, every time the Red Sox win, smile, except for this weekend, because you're playing us. And listen, I'm going to need you guys to get swept, okay?
Yeah, and here's one thing I'll add for the Boston Red Sox. Their opponents in the month of June and July, in my opinion, will make or break their season, because you got a 3-game series against the Yankees, then you got a 3-game series against Houston, 3 games like this is all in a row. You got the Yankees for the weekend. You then got an easy one against Miami. You then got Houston 3 games, Toronto 4 games, Atlanta 2. That's already the month of June. You got Kansas City. Should be easy 3-game series. But then you got Tampa on the road the next 3. Yankees at home for 3. Then you got to go on the road to Kansas City. That's in the month of June. Now, depending on how the Red Sox finish in that month of June, I think we'll kind of partake in how the team is going to go. If they do not do good in the month of June, like if they just somehow struggle, like get swept by the Yankees, lose 2 of 3 against Houston, split with Toronto. Somehow Atlanta gets hot and they just stumble against Atlanta. You know, if they just struggle in the month of June, I think that will be a telltale on how the team will go. And then even in the month of July a little bit, you know, you got the A's who have been a respectable team. We'll see how the Angels are in like early July, but they'll probably beat the Angels. You then got the Phillies. You know, Phillies are one of those teams you never know what they're going to be. They look like a playoff contender one series, and then the next they just look like utter dog water. And then you got the Yankees, you got the Blue Jays, and then Yankees, Blue Jays, Tampa. So that month of June to July up till trade deadline, in my opinion, will make or break how Boston is going to be. Like, if they really will be aggressive, I think if they really want to be aggressive, it'll be I would say when the date of around, I say in the Toronto series of July 26th to July 29th, depending on the Red Sox record at that time frame, will be, in my opinion, how the front office should look at the team as a whole and say, can we really get this? Can we really get the playoff spot? Because if they think in their minds that, hey, we can really get this playoff spot, you best believe they're going to go for it all in. But if they look at themselves and like our fan Dark Sage says, and they take a good hard look at themselves and say, look, guys, this was just a magical ball run. Let's be realistic. Let's look at the future here. We know we're not going to keep this up for the rest of the season. Let's just trade off whatever contract we can. If we could get somebody to take on JD Martinez for a couple prospects, let's do it. And if somehow we could have somebody take on that Chris Sale contract, let's just see what we could get, and get the contracts off the books. You know, we'll see what happens there. But I will say, like Anthony mentioned earlier, enjoy the ride because trust me, if your team does good and you know eventually slips off, you know you got to enjoy the good times because that's life.
Exactly. Well, you know what? This has been a good time. But it is 12:08 over here on the East Coast.
Yeah, Lakers are getting fucking slaughtered, bro.
Yeah,
it's
they
a
are.
wrap. LeMickey and A. Disney. It's a wrap. Here I was watching the game, and I was just like, man, this team's getting their ass kicked. Let me just go on Backstop Banter and talk baseball.
Wait, is that the only reason why you joined? Wow.
Well, yes, and because you two are my favorite.
Oh, now this. What a comeback. What a backpedal. Your hamstrings hurt from that?
Mm-hmm. If he was AD, he'd already retired.
It would have been out with an injury. Anyway, listen.
Sage, thank you so much for your comments and joining with
Sage,
us.
It was an absolute wonderful time. I hope you follow us and you're back next week.
And follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, 10 Eastern. We do this all the time.
Well, not Backstop Banter, obviously, but our Unwrapped Sports Network and
that
baseball.
Well. But I'll go over. Actually, I got to do the sponsors one more time. So, if you want to bet, go over to mybookie.ag and use code US700 to double your first deposit up to $1,000. Listen, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, everything. Go check it out on MyBookie. US700 doubles that first deposit. RxHemp-USN will save you 10% on your entire order. They got the pain relief CBD creams over there. So if you're a little sore, go and check them out. You'll feel brand new in the morning. Next up is the Teespring shop, teespring.com/stores/unwrapped. Go and check them out. We all have our merch. The network has merch as well. So if you want to support an individual show like us and want to put some money in the pockets, go and get the merch. Backstop Banter. Go and check that out. We appreciate you greatly. Finally, listen, Michael, calm yourself there. Finally is the Patreon, patreon.com/unwrappedsports. $1, you let us know you like what we do. $5, you get access to our Discord chat, where we've been putting out a lot of winning bets. You also get 10% off that store I just told you about, and you also get entered into an Amazon gift card giveaway. And then the $10 tier is everything I just said, except the 10% discount goes to $20, and you get entered into a signed memorabilia giveaway each month. Last month, we actually gave away two things because we slacked a little bit. We gave away a signed Ricky Williams mini helmet. We gave away a signed picture of Brandon Ayuk, the 49ers wide receiver. So if that stuff interests you, go and check that out. But I will throw it down to Matt, since he suddenly just became our guest, to plug anything that he needs.
Yeah, and I want to thank you guys for bringing me on. I know it was sudden, but I felt like, you know what, I wanted to talk some baseball. Love what you guys do with Backstop Banner. Always a pleasure to be on or just tune in the comments. It's always great to be here.
Thank you.
Twitter handle down below at Matt_Skura, Instagram at Matt_Skura20. And check out my sports podcast, me and my great friend Cam Conant, called MCS Real Sports Podcast. We talk all things sports related, you name it, basketball, baseball, football, delve in, mix of everything. We're available everywhere, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it. Check us out, give us a listen, tell us what you like about it, tell us what we can improve on. And, it's always a pleasure to be on here, and I appreciate you guys letting me be on here.
Yes, sir. Michael?
MD Lawson00 is my handle for everything, basically. Instagram, Twitter, even Twitch, even though I don't do anything on there. But go follow me on Twitter. I do basketball content and baseball quite a bit, and just really stuff with the family, pictures there, my family. Yeah, I know I'm weird. But anyways, follow me on Saturday, or come join us live Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern time, possibly 10:30. It depends on work again, where I will be co-hosting Count the Bucket with my lovely co-host, Amber, and where we just talk everything NBA going on right now. Of course, all the playoffs going on. It's great times to be in basketball. And of course,
yes, sir. As for me, Generational Sports, that's Monday, 7 Eastern. Me and Josh talk about a little bit of everything over there. Tuesdays is the hard count. Me and CJ talk everything in the football world, so make sure you check that out as well. Backstop Banter, like Michael said, is 10 Eastern, or whenever we decide to go live when Michael gets home from work. All those shows have podcasts as well, available wherever. I literally checked the Backstop Banter podcast, and we haven't done it in a while because we've been slacking on that. So we will get that all secured, figured out. I'm going to upload this one because it was a very good episode. We'll make sure that this one gets out. And then, my Twitter, is Anthony_Conover. Gen Z Sports is the podcast Twitter as well. Anthony_Twitch is Anthony_Twitch. Yeah. Anthony_Conover is my Twitch as well, where I put all the podcasts and everything as well. So I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Matt, I appreciate you for hopping on. Michael,